So, all of you, close your eyes and take a deep, long breath and mute yourself so nobody can disturb anybody. Take a deep, long breath. With each inhalation, balloon the belly. With each exhalation, pull the belly in. And continue breathing. And notice that when you inhale, when you balloon the belly, your body feels little tense. And during exhalation, when you pull the belly in, your body is completely relaxed. So observe your breath. Observe the movement of your belly. Now observe your mind. Our mind always flows with the breath. So when the breath is rhythmic, our mind becomes more peaceful and calm and clear. So feel that peace. And I will chant a prayer. Sarvepi sukhinas santu. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti. 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 And keeping this Shanti within, gently open your eyes and namaste, everybody. And thank you for joining me tonight. Many of you know me, but I'm just going to give my brief introduction to few people who are new. And I'm doing both the jobs. I'm also admitting people and talking, so there may be a little pause. So I'm an Ayurvedic doctor. I graduated more than 50 years ago, and I've been practicing Ayurveda for more than 45 years. And now my goal is to kind of do a social service and educate people about Ayurveda and all. And I think that is the need of the time because, and I decided to have this seminar. Let Ayurveda be the guiding light on your path to our wellness. And the whole idea is Happy New Year to all of you. And I bet most of us have New Year's resolutions, something related to health. So somebody may be wanting to lose weight, somebody wants to lower their blood sugar, somebody wants to take care of their hypertension, somebody wants to take care of their digestive issues and all those kind of things. So something related to health. So tonight we will just see how Ayurveda looks at all these topics or subject about health and wellness. Okay. So let me share my presentation with you. Give me 1 second. Okay. So the topic is let Ayurveda be the guiding light on your path to wellness. And we always talk about health and wellness, but The real picture is totally different. When we talk about health, it's always about the disease. And it's about our sugar, it's about our eating the problem, it's about our arthritis and all. And we end up taking so many medicines for those things. And again, those medicines are not enough, then we need to add more because we don't sleep well, we get constipated, we get heartburn and all. So the number of those medicines keeps on increasing and all that. So we need to really understand what real health is and how Ayurveda will help you to be healthy. So I'm going to talk about like 40-45 minutes. If you have any questions, you can add those questions in the chat and then I will answer all your questions later. So we want to see exactly, generally we talk about health. What is health? Is the absence of disease. But can we really describe health in terms of disease? Because then we say absence of disease, then we have to kind of rule out all the diseases. And if those diseases are not present, then we are healthy. But Ayurveda has a very simple but profound definition about health or wellness, and that is we call as a swasthya. So it says samadoshaha, samagnischa, samadhatu, malakriyaha, प्रसन्न आत्मा इंद्रिय मनः स्वस्थ इति अभिधीयते. So you can see that this definition is not only about physical health, but this is about health at all the three levels: physical, psychological, and spiritual health and all. So it says samadoshaha, and pretty soon I'm going to explain everything in details. But samadoshaha. So we have these energies working in our body, and those energies need to be balanced. Otherwise, if those energies go out of balance, it causes the disease. Samagnischa. So Ayurveda has a unique concept of this Agni, that is our digestive power. And if the digestive system is not functioning well, it sorts of causing all the digestive issues. Somebody may have constipation, somebody may have heartburn, somebody may have IBS, somebody may be passing a lot of blood in the stools or whatever. So, in all those things, this Agni has become very weak and that causes the problem. So, staying healthy, our Agni, our digestive power also has to work optimally. Then it works better. Then when we eat food and our Agni is digesting that food, then samadhatu. Dhatu means the tissues in the body. So when food is digested, there is the two parts happen. One is the nutrient and one is the waste. So those nutrients build more tissues in the body. And those tissues is our strength. We always want to be strong. We should be able to do so many things. Our immune system should be protecting us from many diseases. We should have good hemoglobin, so we have plenty of energy to do things. We have to have strong muscles and all. So if you want to have all this strength and longevity, then these dhatu, the tissues also should be very strong in the body. And the next one is called malakriyaha. Nobody talks about this issue when it comes to health. That in the process of digestion, I mentioned two things happen: nutrient and the waste. And those waste needs to be removed from the body, and if not, then that works like a toxin in the body, causing many diseases. And in my practice, I see many times that people have issues with constipation and then they get the backache, they get hemorrhoids, they get palpitations, they get headaches, so many different diseases. So, in Ayurvedic definition, it also says that your elimination has to be complete and regular. And this is all about the physical body. And then prasanna atma indriya manaha swastha iti abhidhiyate. And that means our senses have to be sharp because senses are taking in the energy from all the surrounding. So we have five senses. We can see things, we can hear things, we can touch things, we can see things, we taste things, and we smell things. So the sense organs, we know our vision should be very sharp, our hearing should be really good, our taste buds should be functioning well so we enjoy all the food. Our smell should be really good. Lot of people are losing all these senses because of COVID and all. So when it comes to health, our senses have to be very sharp. Our mind has to be very peaceful and our thinking has to be very clear. When we achieve all these things, balanced energies, strong optimum agni, strong digestion, strong tissues, complete elimination, and having peace at physical, emotional, and spiritual level, when we achieve this, it is called swasthya. So you can see how elaborate this definition is compared to just absence of disease. And there is no word disease here in this definition because we always are born healthy. And when we are not healthy, when we are not at ease, then comes the disease. So we cannot describe health in terms of disease. So this is a beautiful and very profound definition about health. And funny thing or the very important thing, this all you have a control. Your doctor cannot do it, nobody else can do it, but you have to achieve all these things. You have to keep your doshas into balance. You have to eat right and keep your agni strong. Your strong tissues, you have to build all those tissues. Your elimination is, of course, is all on you. Keeping your mind happy and peaceful, keeping that happy state of mind and all is all it is your responsibility. And that's what we always say. Our health is in our hands. And interesting thing is whether in health or in disease, you always have to take care of all these things. Then only you can achieve health. Now I mentioned about some doshaha. Doshaha means the energies in the nature. We are the part of the nature. We call mother nature. And we always say we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, or yatra pinde, tatra brahmande, or as above, so below. Means what is happening in the nature, same thing happening in our body. So, what are the three natural energies in the nature? In Marathi, we call un, vara, and paus. Un, that is the heat or the fire element, vara, that is the wind energy, and paus, that is water, is the water energy. And the same three energies control all the functions in our body. The water energy we call as a kapha dosha, and heat energy in the nature we call as a pitta dosha. So Sujata was asking me that Sudha uses the word pitta and what does it mean? So this pitta, that means the heat energy in the universe, heat energy in our body, controlling some functions in the body. We call it the pitta energy. And the third is the vata energy, that is the wind energy. And kapha dosha's function is to make everybody happy, lubricating the whole body, making sure all the systems are functioning well, the growth and the nourishment. All these things are controlled by kapha dosha. Pitta dosha, to make any change to happen, we need the heat. And that's what Pitta energy is, the main energy of transformation. Transformation of not only food, transformation of ideas, transformation of the air we breathe, the liquids we drink, anything that needs to be transformed. Pitta dosha is does the function. Controlling our body temperature, luster of our skin, our vision, our thinking, that is all the function of Pitta dosha. And the Vata dosha is almost like a nervous system. All the nerves, our movements and all is controlled by Vata dosha. And interesting thing, all these three energies are present everywhere, even in one cell. So you may function, and this is the foundation of Ayurveda. And our goal is to maintain the balance of these energies, because when these energies are balanced, then only our body is going to function well. If these energies aggravate or increase, then we get some kind of disease. So it is very important that we keep these systems, keep these energies into control. And Kapha dosha being more related to water energy, and that's what late winter and spring, what happens? It snows a lot, rains a lot, so there is more water element. So during springtime, it is Kapha dosha is predominant. And guess what? When do people complain about allergies and mucus and congestion? When this Kapha dosha aggravates in the body, people have all these allergy symptoms, cough, congestive headache, and bronchitis, and asthma, swelling on the body, swelling on the joints, and all that. So it happens more related to late winter and spring season. Then comes the summer season, that is the heat element. And when the when we get all these trees are kind of blooming, we get all the flowers and the fruits and all during summertime because of the heat. But that heat is not in balance. When that heat aggravates, then we start getting heartburn or some bleeding condition, maybe ulcer, or maybe skin. Young kids get acne, somebody gets rashes on the body or hives, somebody may get psoriasis. So many hypertension, anger, irritability. So when these doshas go out of balance, we get different kind of diseases, and our goal is to keep these doshas into balanced state so we can prevent most of the diseases. And in fall, what happens is the weather is very windy, so it dries everything, and that's what our skin becomes so dry and itchy. Many people experience constipation, a lot of people have gas, bloating, or pain and stiffness in the joints, circulation problems, and all that. So remember, keeping these doshas in balance is very important. The moment these doshas aggravate, then we get certain kind of diseases. So it is very important, and it is in our hands. So many times people ask me, Dr. J, ADD, then many of the new diseases are so new, and how come this Ayurveda is 5,000 year old and Ayurveda has a solution for all these diseases like IBS, IBD, and ADD, and ADHD, and so many things. So what has changed is our surrounding. But whatever we are built with the nature's three energies, that has not changed. And we always go back to these three doshas or these three energies and find out which energy is aggravated, causing the symptom, and then bring that energy back into balance with the herbs, with the diet, with the lifestyle, and all. And the doshas get into balance, and that is healing the body. And that's how these doshas are so important. And our effort has to be to keep these doshas into balance. Because that's what I earlier mentioned. Rogastu dosha vaishamyam, dosha samyam arogata. That means when these doshas are in balance, we are in healthy state. We have arogya, we have swasthya. But the moment these doshas aggravate, you see here, there is flood of water. In the middle picture, there is Agni is so flared up that it may burn everything. In this third picture at the bottom, you will see the weather is so windy, everything is kind of blown away. So when these doshas aggravate, they cause the disease. So our goal is to maintain those doshas balance, and again it is in our hands. So you may think about how to keep these doshas into balance. Then there is one saying that we can direct the wind, but we can adjust the sail. That means we cannot control the changes in the nature, in the seasons. But what we can adjust the sail, that means create the balance with the diet and lifestyle. And that's why Ayurveda has described one concept called Rutucharya. And Rutucharya is the seasonal routine. And do you know what we do is we only change the clothes according to the season. When it's winter, when it's the fall time, then we need a very heavy, long jacket which keeps us warm. Then come the spring, then our jacket is warm, but it's not very heavy, it's very light. Then when it comes to summer, then we need to go shopping again and buy shorts and t-shirts and all. We want to keep our body cold. because weather is very hot. But what goes inside shows outside. So just changing clothes is not enough. What we need to do is change the diet to balance those qualities of doshas. So earlier here I showed you this quality for kapha dosha, like water, it is very heavy, cold and moist. And suppose somebody has allergies and congestion, how would you feel? You feel very congested, you feel you have cold, you have the congestive headache, your head feels very heavy. So all these qualities aggravate. So what you do? Create the balance. Do exactly opposite. So opposite to heavy is light, opposite to cold is warm, opposite to moist is dry. So you start drinking warm herbal teas because all these spices and all create kind of balance, create warmth in the body. So we always recommend drink ginger and lemon and honey tea because though honey is sweet, it is drying. Or we always tell people to drink like clove and cinnamon and black pepper and turmeric tea because all these spices create warmth in the body, and because of that heat, it reduces the moistness and coldness. So we constantly have to create the balance. So during springtime, how can we, the food should be eating? Like instead of eating oatmeal, because oatmeal is very moist and heavy, you can eat a toast. You can eat toasted bagel, you can eat toasted muffin, or something with little black pepper or chili flakes on it. So it fulfills all the balancing qualities. So that's how we make the changes in the diet and lifestyle. During summertime. So springtime, I told you to spice up your life, but during summertime, it's so hot. So cut down on the spices and then start eating little cooling foods. And that's what we do. That we eat salads or we eat cooling fruits during that season. But if you continue eating spicy food during summertime, definitely you will have heartburn, you will have some skin issues and all that. So you have to change according to the season. When we come to the fall season, then the season is very dry. So instead of and cold, so instead of eating salads, you can have a lot of soups and stews and warm steamed sauteed vegetables or khichdi and kadhi and those kind of foods. So it will balance all the doshas which are aggravating vata dosha, and you can create the balance. So that's how mainly what we have to do is change the diet according to the season to create the balance. So even if you cannot control the season, you can create the balance and don't have to suffer from all those health issues during particular season. And you can also use different exercise. During springtime, if you go swimming, you may get more congested. But if you swim during summertime, it will help you to cool your body down. During springtime, you should be exercising, which will increase your heart rate. So increase the warmth in the body. So you can start jogging, running, playing tennis, playing basketball, something that will your heart rate will increase and it will create body heat to balance it. Even when it comes to pranayam, then during springtime, we will do pranayam or kapalbhati basrika. During summertime, it's very hot. So we will do Shitali pranayam, Anulom Vilom. During fall season, it is very dry and kind of people get anxious. So we do more Anulom Vilom or we do Brahmari pranayam. So everything change the routine. That's what Ayurveda says, seasonal routine. And there is so many details in that, but I just wanted to give you some glimpses and how Ayurveda helps to create the balance and prevent most of those diseases. So this is about doshas. Very important that you have to try to maintain the balance of doshas because balancing doshas is arogya health and imbalanced dosha is the disease. Then second is the optimum agni. And in Bhagavad Gita we always say aham vaishwanaro bhutva praninam deham ashrita pranapana samayukta pachami annam chaturvidha. So again, it is connecting us to the universe. Aham Vaishwana. So the universal Agni resides in our body around the navel. We call Jethra Agni or we call Pachaka Pitta. And with help of Pranavayu, Apanvayu, Samanavayu, it digests all sorts of foods. But when it comes to digestion, Ayurvedically, this process is very, very complex. So generally, we talk about our carbs are digested in the glucose, proteins into amino acids, and fat into fatty acids. But Ayurvedic digestion is very elaborate. It is first it says it transforms all the food into basic Mahabhuta, but they are still in the food form, in the grain form, or in the food fruit form, in the vegetable form. Then it has to convert those Mahabhutas into human Mahabhutas. Then bringing the right Mahabhutas together to build tissues on the body. And it doesn't even stop there, but it also gives you the individual marker on those tissues. And I want to give you an example is suppose your blood group. Somebody is Rh positive, somebody is a few people are Rh negative. Somebody's blood group is O, somebody is A, somebody is AB, somebody is B. So all these are the unique tissues everybody has, and your Agni works so hard and it creates the right tissues in each individual. And do you know all these tissues take 1 month to form? So the food you eat today has the total effect on your whole body in almost in a month. So that process is so elaborate and complex. And what do we do with this Agni? We do exactly to weaken our Agni. Agni is the fire in our system. And what do? We constantly drink ice cold water. We constantly drink all the cold drinks. We constantly eat cold foods. We eat junk food, which is also cold. So all this cold weaken this Agni. And then Agni is going to be weak. Then how is Agni produce good tissues on your body? How are you going to be strong? How if the digestion is not good, the mala, the waste is not produced right, then that those waste stay in the body. That works like a toxin. So it is very important that we keep this Agni in the optimum state. So anything goes in our system, digestive system is at the doorway to get into the body. And as Ayurvedic doctors, any disease, it could be related to heart, it could be related to arthritis, it could be related to skin, it could be related to the mind. We always pay attention to digestion and this Agni because it builds, if Agni is not optimum, it causes ama, and that ama is a toxin, it circulates, and wherever it lodges, it causes the disease. And that's what your continuous effort has to be on keeping this Agni very strong. Then what is the importance of Agni in health? Why is it so important? आयुर्वर्ण बलो स्वास्थ्यं उत्साह उपचयो प्रभा ओजस तेजो अग्नया आनस चोक्ता देहाग्नि हेतु. That means you want to live longer, but not only longer, but you want to live healthier. You want to feel very strong. You want to prevent most of the diseases. You want to feel bounced with lot of energy in you. You want the radiance. You want your immune system very strong. If you want all these things, then your Agni has to be very strong because your Agni is going to digest the food and it is going to build all these tissues on our body. Generally, when it comes to nutrition, we always think about what to eat. What to eat is one part, and that is also very important that we should be eating very healthy. And because our whole body is nothing but the food we eat. But most importantly, the other part of the equation is how good we digest that food. Because if your digestion is weak, even you eat gourmet food, homemade food, organically grown produce you may use, but still it will create toxin. And if your digestion is optimum, then simple like khichdi and rice and vegetable, puri, bhaji, whatever simple food you eat, it will build strong tissues on your body. So most of the things are important. Both side of the equations are important, but this Agni concept has more value to that because it digests all the food and it builds on the tissues. And when you have strong tissues, then only you can live longer, healthier. you can prevent most of the diseases and all that. So with strong tissues, all the systems function at the optimum level and preventing disease and preserving your health. And look at the last line. Chante gno mriyate yukte chiranjivati anamayaha. That means if this Agni gets put off, if this Agni becomes very weak, that is almost like a death. But if you can protect that Agni, then it will help you to live like a Chiranjeeva. It will help you to live longer and Anamaya without any disease. So you can live longer and healthier if you take care of this Agni in your body. Then next question you will think about, how can we make, doctor, after you're talking so much about Agni, how can we keep it strong? Then mainly it's all about eating. So we constantly munch. We eat every 2 3 hours. We skip our meals, but we eat junk food. We munch on different things. We constant these days everybody wakes up and start drinking ice cold smoothie and all that. So all those things weaken your agni. So Ayurvedically we recommend eating only 3 meals or even 2 meals. These days people are doing intermittent fasting and they are getting rid of lot of their digestive issues. Their sugar is coming down, they are feeling more energy and all. That is because the agni becomes strong when there is less food in the body and it is digesting it well, your agni becomes very strong. And watch what you are eating. Avoid anything cold. Ice cold water, ice cold juices, everything avoid. And I'm seeing it, it's so cold outside and people are still drinking ice cold liquids, and that is causing them more allergies and congestion and all that. So we never hear about these guidelines about eating. So always remember this thing, limit your sweet heavy fried cheesy foods, because they are very heavy to digest, they weaken your agni. And eat medium spicy food. And I don't have to tell our Indian people because our food is always there are some spices in the food, but don't make it excessively spicy. You add medium amount of spices in the food because those spices also strengthen your agni. Then langhanam, that is the fasting once a week, because no matter how much we talk about it, we always overeat. Then when you fast 1 day per week, that is you're giving your system some rest, but your agni is not quiet. Agni is digesting all the leftover food, and then that agni becomes strong. So many people in our culture, we always say that I'm Shiva Bhakta, so I fast on Monday, Ganesha Bhakta, I fast on Tuesday. But the whole idea is related to health. When you are fasting, when you are resting your system, then your agni becomes strong. It is very important. Another important thing is exercise, which is not happening at all. Sometimes people ask me, what about exercise? We don't have time at all. But when you exercise, it creates a lot of heat. And there are agnis at different levels. And it digests, your agni becomes strong, it dies and creates a lot of heat, and that is the best way, is one of the best way to increase and strengthen your agni throughout the body. Again, pranayama I also mentioned, kapalbhati pranayam, basrika pranayam. All these tips I am giving you, there is no medicine, no even the herbs and all that. This is all related to your eating pattern and all this. So this is very important. So follow these kind of things and make sure your agni is very strong. You may feel, what are the signs of weak agni? Watch your tongue in the mirror. And lot of people have white coating on the tongue. And that means your digestive system is not functioning well at all. Your tongue should be pink. There should not be any coating. There should not be bad breath. There should not be bad taste in your mouth. When you feel, you notice the taste of the food, your tongue looks pink, you look energetic, that means your agni is good in the body. Then strong dhatus. Now, what are the dhatus? This may be new word to you. Dhatus means tissues in the body, and Ayurveda has described 7 different tissues or seven, and these tissues are nothing but the energy reserve at different levels. For example, bones. Bones support our body, but do you know bone is the reservoir of calcium? When blood calcium becomes less, the bones are dissolved and it becomes bone calcium becomes blood calcium. Then we eat food again and the bone is rebuilt. So continuously these dhatus are broken down to release the energy, and then we eat the food and body is building all these tissues in the body. So doshas, the energies control all the functions of the system, and these systems are made up of dhatus. So your whole body is nothing but different kind of dhatus. So there are seven: rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti, majja, shukra, and rasa means the fluids in the body. Again, how much is water on the earth? About 70%. How much is water in our body? About 70%. How much is water in one cell? About 70%. So see, we are the exactly replica of the nature. So fluids are very, very important. If you get dehydrated, your body will not function well. If you get too many fluids in the body, there will be lot of swelling and all, body will not function. So all these are Rakta Dhatu, that is the RBCs. RBCs are important because they carry oxygen or the prana throughout the body, reaching each and every of trillions of cells. Then Mamsa, that is the muscles. We always want strong muscles, so we should be able to do anything. So it is very important to have all these tissue. Then Meda Dhatu, adipose tissue or the fatty tissue. So when there is an action of the muscle, there is the fat buildup because fat reduces the dryness and fat reduces the heat, which happens because of the action. The muscles become heated and they become dry. So there is a nature has created the Meda Dhatu just underneath the Mamsa Dhatu. Then below that is the Asthi Dhatu, the bones. Below that, inside the bones, is the majja, that is the nerves, and within that we have shukra dhatu, that is the our immune system or our immune cells or sperms and ovum. So these are the seven tissues in the body, and if you want to stay healthy, then these tissues have to be strong. And what is going to build these tissues on your body? The agni and the food. So the food you eat and agni is going to digest all that food and it is going to create all those tissues. So definitely the qualities in your food are going to reflect in your health. Quality of your agni is going to reflect on your tissues. So if you want strong tissues, you have to eat good food, you have to eat healthy food, you have to eat natural food, you have to eat fresh food, you have to eat organically grown food, and your agni also has to be very, very strong. So how can you keep these dhatus at the optimum? I'm telling you, these dhatus need to be at the optimum stage. Then, as I just now I mentioned that eating all the food groups. And these days we are all talking so much about somebody has diabetes, so avoid carbs completely. Somebody has high cholesterol, then avoid fat completely. Somebody has kidney issues, then avoid protein completely and all. But for all the building blocks, all these food groups are the building blocks for these seven tissues. And we have to eat all those food groups in the right proportion, not something more or something less. And then having optimum agni to build all those tissues. Just now I mentioned that. And exercising. And why exercising is so important? Because I know majority of you said must have your New Year's resolution as I want to lose weight. So what is the weight? Weight, that means all these tissues. What are these tissues? They are the energy reserve. If you do not use that energy, then they are going to stay in the body and you are going to gain weight. And then you will take all these medicines like Manjaro and Ozempic and all those kind of things and try to lose weight. But if you really want to maintain ideal weight, there is no alternative to exercise. In India, when we were growing up, naturally we walk everywhere, but the moment we come to US, we always sit in the car in front of TVs, the sedentary lifestyle, and we naturally easily get like 25, 30 pounds. So exercising, there is no alternative to exercise. Otherwise, you have to completely fast. Your body needs very, very less amount of food. But when you eat constantly, eat healthy food, eat overeat, then it's going to build the tissues. But then you have to utilize those tissues and break down those tissues into energy. And your body is going to use energy as a fuel when you are going to exercise. So eating good food, Agni good, but exercising regularly is a must to maintain your optimum tissues. Then next comes the Malakriyaha. What I said, when the digestion process happens, nutrient from the nutrient, dhatus are built. The waste need to be removed from the body. And that waste needs to be removed from the body periodically, every day. And if it doesn't get out of the body, it becomes a toxin. And as I mentioned earlier, I see almost 60-70% of the time people are constipated. They get gas, they get bloating, they get headache, they get joint pain, they get back pain. There's so many diseases happen because of constipation. So you always have to take the efforts, but your body has to be completely cleansed every day. It's not like I get bowel movement alternate days and all. You have to have good bowel movement every day, and that is a sign of good health. Same way, your kidneys are eliminating all the waste, liquid waste. If the kidneys are not functioning well, all those toxins stay in the body and it is going to cause so many issues. Your blood pressure may rise, there will be swelling in the body, and all sorts of things. Your body becomes like a toxic dump. So, this elimination of malakriya has to happen regularly. Then what is the solution? What can you do? Simple, healthy habits are drink 1 glass of lukewarm water upon rising. And this really, really helps many people to have good bowel movement. Then at night, what you can do is drink 1 cup warm milk and add 1 teaspoon ghee at bedtime because ghee helps to lubricate your whole system and it helps to have good elimination in the morning next day. Or this is a picture is of Triphala powder. Triphala is Haritaki, Bibitaki, and Amalaki. Is the combination of all these medicinal fruits, and that is also mild laxative, but it is good rasayana to your whole system. So take 2 tablets of Triphala at bedtime. So in the morning you get good bowel movement, and that has helped so many people. So this is the one of the best Ayurvedic formula to cleanse your body and eat dinner early. Do not eat very late at night, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And so the whole body cycle changes. So eat early, drink a glass of water in the morning, drink milk and ghee, take trifla, whatever way you can do. Few people are born, they get up and they go to the bathroom. That is the best habit they have. But if you have some issues, then try some of these things and that will also work for you. And let me tell you, in my 45 years of experience, I have a formula called Trifala is Trilax, and that formula is a bestseller. Everybody just feels so much better taking that formula. Then we talked about all these things like samadosha, samagnishcha, samadhatu, malakriyaha, prasanna atma, indriya manaha. So here comes the psychology. The indriyas your whole body and the senses. We have 5 senses. But your senses do not tell you. Like suppose you see something, your eyes are not going to tell you what you saw. It has to pass that impulse through your mind to your intellect, like the computer CPU, and that intellect is going to process that, and then it is going to tell you what you saw. And like in this, the example of computer, then you will see something on the screen. If you eat something, your tongue is not going to tell you whether it is chapati or laddu or vada pav or whatever. Your tongue will just take the information and your mind will carry that information. Your intellect will process that, match it with your previous file, and then say, oh, it's a vada pav. All this is happening in a fraction of a second. But That connection has to happen every moment. What we do, we get up in the morning and start like Marathi, there is a frame, ki bail ghanayaga zumpla. Ki we continuously keep on doing things without even thinking about it, without planning anything. We just keep on doing things, and at the end of the day, we get very frustrated. So, if you want to achieve something productive, if you want to achieve meaningful life, if you want to achieve meaningful work and all that, your senses, your mind, and your intellect, all three have to be connected. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we see the chariot. Those five horses are like your senses. The mind is the rein, and your intellect is Krishna is holding on to all those reins. That is the intellect. So all this connection always has to happen. And if that connection doesn't happen, then you are not going to get the productive work done. And I know many of us are very stressed out. We work 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, but don't get much work done. So if you want to have the productive work, you always have to have this connection, body, mind, and intellect. They all have to be connected. Then only the things are going to happen. You are going to get more work, and that's what you have to be focused. We have five senses, but we have only one mind and one intellect. So your body can process only one thing at a time. So it is very, very important that you meditate, you plan, and then you start doing things. Here I want to share one story of a wood chopper. There was one wood chopper and he wanted to make money chopping the trees. So he went to the forest in the lumber yard, and owner told him that, yeah, every tree I will give you $100. So he chopped like five trees first day and he got $500. So next day he said, I will work harder and get more money. So he worked harder but cut only four trees. So he got only 400. Third day he got worked harder but got cut down only three trees and got only $300. And he was so frustrated. So he went to the owner, and owner asked him only one question: did you sharpen your axe? And I want to ask all this question to all of you, that do you sharpen your axe? And your axe is your mind. Do you sharpen your mind? Do you do everything with peaceful mind? Do you plan everything? Do you do the scheduling and all and then do things? Or do you get up, look at your phone and start doing, attending the meeting or start doing work and all that? If you just do the work, it will create a lot of stress. But if you use all these three levels of your existence, your sense, your mind, your intellect, then you will see that your focus will improve, your concentration will improve, and you will get more productive work done without causing a lot of stress. So it is very, very important. So I told you about all these things. How can we bring all those things in our daily routine? Again, Ayurveda has a concept for that, and it is called Dinacharya. And Dinacharya is doing the right thing at the right time by tuning our clock to nature's clock. And what we do maybe do the right thing, but we do at the wrong time. We don't have time to go to bed. Our bedtime instead of 10 p.m. is 2 a.m. Our lunch time instead of noon, it is 2 or 3 p.m., or we may skip our lunch. Our exercise should happen in the morning or evening, but we may be going to the gym because it's 24-hour gym. We go to the gym at midnight and exercise that time. So we don't have any pattern. We don't do things at the right time. Everything else works like, suppose you have go to the flight, you have to catch the flight, you will reach at the airport at the right time. If your project is ending, you have a deadline at certain time, you will make sure it happens. But when it comes to our own health and our own routine, we do not follow that right time, and that causes all the problem. Not following the right time causes many kind of diseases. So Ayurveda has a simple way of explaining at least few things I'm going to tell you. Is go to bed by 10 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m. So you get good 8 hours of sleep. And this pitta at night is healing your body, taking care of all the wear and tear. So you should be asleep. But unfortunately, our bedtime is 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and we keep on doing some work, so body doesn't heal. Then next morning we don't feel well rested. Then lunchtime should be around noon because that is the peak of this afternoon pitta. But we don't eat meals, or sometimes people say I feel sleepy, so I skip my lunch, or they eat at 2, 3, 4 o'clock p.m. That causes the problem. We should be waking up just before sunrise, but we wake up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So again, that kapha builds in the body and causes all sorts of allergies and congestion, heaviness in the body and all that. So it is very important that you do the right thing at the right time. And we always say it's all about timing. Somebody was at the right time, at the right place, at the right time. Everything is about the timing. And if it is right, then we should be following all these right times to do our things during the daytime. Then meditate in the morning for 10 to 15 minutes. As I said, sharpen your axe. Plan your whole day. Write that plan down. Write something new that I will do some painting in the evening for half an hour. I will sing. I will do something different that I don't do routinely. You put it in your schedule and you will be surprised that thing will be get done. And I really want to congratulate some of the women that Manaswini group decided to chant Ram Raksha from beginning of the year till 22nd of January. And they did it on the Zoom. Group of women got together exactly at 7 p.m. and they chanted Ram Raksha. And really, I congratulate all those women. So if you plan something to do, if you kind of in the morning meditate and put it on your list, then the things happen. Eat only 3 meals a day and zipping your lips in between is very, very important. Eat light breakfast around 7 to 8, lunch around noon to 1, and dinner around 6 to 7 because those are the ideal times. Again, in the morning, there is no pitta, so eat light breakfast. In the afternoon is the pitta time, is at the peak, so eat good lunch. And in the evening, eat lighter dinner. That Ayurveda recommends based on this nature cycle. So these are the few things and exercise for 1 hour, depending on your schedule. If your day starts little late, then you can exercise in the morning. If you starting your day at 7, 7:30, then you can exercise in the evening. But I would strongly recommend you have to exercise. Do any kind of things. Play with your children. Marathi Mandal had created that Krida Mahotsav and there were a lot of different sports. Everybody participated. So have these tennis groups, basketball groups. Play all our Indian games like Langdi and Kho, whatever you want to do, but spend some time with your children. On the weekend, go out, do some physical activity because your body needs to be utilizing all the energy you have built up in your body, and that exercise has to happen sometime. Plan it according to your schedule. And evening is leisure time. Again, spend some time with the family. Don't constantly work. So earlier I told you about Rutucharya, that is the seasonal routine. So we follow the Dinacharya same time. Dinacharya tells you when to eat. But Rutucharya tells you what to eat during particular season. If it is spring season, spice up your life. If it is summer season, eat cooler foods, eat salad, eat fresh fruits and all. If it is the fall season, have more soups and stews and warm oatmeal cereal, those kind of things. Dinacharya tells you when to do pranayama or exercise. Rutucharya tells you which pranayama is ideal for that particular season, which exercise to pick during certain season because we want to create the balance. Dinacharya tells you to wear comfortable clothes. Rutucharya will tell you which color will be ideal during the season. If during summertime, if you wear dark black color and dark colors, you will feel so hot. But the same dark colors you can wear during fall time because you want to conserve the heat. During summertime, wear white, light blue, light green because you want to repel all the energy and a lot of heat. So based on everything, Ayurveda is very detailed. talks about these all kind of things. So dinacharya and rutucharya go hand in hand, and it helps you to integrate the dynamic balance within your body. So whatever we are talking about, it is all you can do. Your doctor cannot do that. Doctor can prescribe you the medicines, and we are making a doctor's work very kind of overwork. We don't get doctor's appointment 6 months, 8 months, and all that. But if you do your job right, if you take care of your digestion, your agni, your doshas, your malas, tissues, and all that, you can prevent most of the diseases. So you don't have to go to the doctor and all. You can take care of your own health. So what things you have to remember? Shift your awareness from disease care to true health care. Follow dinacharya and rutucharya to balance your doshas. You have to create the dynamic balance every season. You want to keep your agni in the optimum state. So it will build strong tissues on your body, and it will help you to have the peaceful mind and all that. And remember, your health is in your hands, and let Ayurveda be the guiding light or guiding light on your way. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you. Now I will stop sharing. And does anybody have any question? You can raise your hand and ask the question. Where do I see chat? Okay, in the chat, I'm seeing few questions. Okay, Ayurvedic practice, how it can be achieved. This is what I talked about the dinacharya and rutucharya and eating only few times, going to bed on time and all that. When you follow that Ayurvedic concepts, then you are following Ayurveda and you can achieve that balance in your body. Person has vitamin D deficiency, does it mean she has pitta dosha? No, this is not right. Anybody can have vitamin D deficiency if you are not eating the right foods and all that, if you are not going out for a walk in the morning, because morning sun, if you go for a walk, your skin absorbs sun rays and creates vitamin D. And that's why not necessarily should be only pitta dosha, but anybody can have that deficiency, so you need to pay attention to that. What would you suggest to balance doshas after chemotherapy? It's a very good question. In chemotherapy, kind of destroys, along with the cancer cells, it also destroys your good tissues. And that's what Vata dosha aggravates a lot during after the chemo. So we strongly recommend eating all the warm foods, moist foods, homemade food. But when you are eating all those warm foods, it brings down your vata dosha. It also helps to strengthen your agni slowly, and then it will rebuild good cells, tissues in your body, dhatus in your body, and you will feel good. Generally, people always complain about eating ghee, and if I eat ghee, I will increase my cholesterol and all. Eating 2 to 3 teaspoons of ghee does not make you gain cholesterol. As a matter of fact, it strengthens your agni and it will help to lower your cholesterol. Which fat is bad for the cholesterol is artificially hydrogenated fat, because that is being because it blocks many of your channels and causes a lot of problems. But regular cooking oil like sesame oil, coconut oil, and olive oil and all, or 2 to 3 teaspoons of ghee will never increase your cholesterol. So definitely use that. Is it safe to take triphala powder and tablet every day or as needed basis? Yes, if you get good bowel movement every day, you don't need to even take triphala. But maybe you skip a day or your bowel movement is not complete and you may feel little gassy and all, then I would strongly recommend take Triphala for a month or two and let your system regularize, and then you can just kind of stop taking Triphala. But Triphala is not habit forming, so you can take Triphala months or even year around and it will not cause any problem. But Triphala also is good for your system. So if you have to take Triphala, go ahead and use it. Can you tell which pranayama are good for each season? Yes, during spring season, you want to build warmth in your body. You want to clear your respiratory channel. So best pranayam will be Kapalbhati and Bhasrika during springtime. It will really clear your lungs because during springtime you kind of get more bronchitis or cough and congestion and all that. During summertime, we want to cool our body down. So you can use Anulom Vilom and Shitali Pranayam. You can check on the YouTube because I don't have time right now to explain it all to you, but I'm just saying the names. And in fall and winter, you can do Brahmari Pranayam, you can do Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Try that, at least do it for 10 minutes and be consistent so you will start seeing the benefits of that. And pranayama is tremendously beneficial. Pranayam is a prana is the bridge between your body and your mind. Annamaya kosha, physical body, pranamaya kosha and manomaya kosha. So pranayam is beneficial for the mind. Pranayam is beneficial for the physical body also. In allopathy, doctors focus on drying the mucus in the respiratory pathway for patients with chronic cough. Is it considered? Is it considered to be good practice? Does the mucus need to be expelled in Ayurvedic practice? It can be achieved? It's a good question. What I said is doshas need to be in balance. All our body needs lubrication. Same way our nostrils, we are breathing air and they need to be lubricated so the function of your whole respiratory system will happen better. But if there is too much mucus, if there is too much phlegm, then it needs to be dried up. So drying at a certain level is important, and that's what we do it with the hot spices like ginger, cloves, cinnamon, black pepper. We use all these hot spices, and that reduces the excess mucus, excess phlegm, but it doesn't completely dry your system out. It has to stop at the balance level. And if there is a lot of dry cough and all, then we recommend something demulcent herb like licorice, ghee, warm water and ghee or licorice powder in it. So it moisturizes your system and it starts functioning better. So depending on if it is too more wet, too congested, you need to dry it up at certain level. If it is too dry, you need to moisten it at certain level. How to use Triphala in... No, you can use Triphala in a powder form. Lot of people do not like the taste of Triphala because it is bitter, astringent and all. So they prefer tablets. But if you take half teaspoon of Triphala in warm water, that is the best way to take it. But if you don't like the taste, then you can consume the capsules or the tablets. But do it at bedtime. If you want to cleanse your system, take it at bedtime. If you want to have the rasayana, is like a tonic-like effect on the body, then take it in the morning. Where to get Ayurvedic medicines in US? Simple Ayurvedic products like Triphala, Trikatu, ginger, black pepper, Pippali, all these Indian stores have a separate section, Ayurvedic section, and you will find those there. I carry most of the Ayurvedic things in my, and these days there are a lot of websites. They directly ship it from India. So if you Google search, you will find and just buy from the renowned companies. What type of vegetables and fruits can be eaten in Vata and Pitta dosha. Very good question. What do we get in fall? Remember, when do we get pumpkin patch? During fall time. Why pumpkin? Why orange color? Because orange starts absorbing the heat. And that's what Vata dosha is very dry. So you get all these root vegetables, all these pumpkins and squashes which grow near the ground, they are ideal to eat. What fruits do we get during that time? We get fruit called persimmon. We get pomegranate. All these fruits seasonal, eating seasonal is so important, and we in India always did that. Mangoes we always ate during end of April, May, beginning of June. We never ate year round. We eat watermelon and all juicy fruit during summertime, not in the winter time. So eating seasonal, mother nature is kind of protecting us by producing the right fruit and vegetables during the right season. So always go to farmers market to know what is in the season and only buy those produce. Mangoes we get year around, we get all the fruits year around, which causes the problem. So eating during Vata season, never eat salad. Eat salad during summertime. In winter, all the growths happen in the ground. So root vegetables or this heavy vegetables like which grow near the ground, those are ideal to eat during fall. That is the Vata season. And during Pitta season, you can eat anything growing above the ground. You can eat all the salads. You can eat watermelon, cantaloupe, all the juicy, sweet, pulpy fruits during Pitta dosha time. That is the summertime. Even if you take this one message that we have to eat seasonal and we have to keep our Agni strong, I will be very, very happy to that you took something with you. In postmenopausal melasma, treatable with Ayurvedic medicines and how. And that's what I'm telling you. We always go back to Vata Pitta Kapha. Around menopausal age, we transition from Pitta life cycle to Vata life cycle. We also go through the same life cycles from birth to puberty. We are into Kapha life cycle, and that's why small children suffer more from cold, congestion, middle infection, and all that because they are kapha into kapha stage of life and they're drinking cold milk and cold juices and all that is our American culture here. So they suffer more. During menopause, your pitta life is cycle is ending and you are entering into vata life cycle. So generally, women go through either vata imbalance or pitta imbalance. So based on that, we use different herbs and take care of all these kind of issues. We always go back to Vata Pitta Kapha. That is the foundation in Ayurveda. So looks like I have answered all the questions in the chat and maybe it is past 1 hour. If you have any question, raise your hand. Otherwise, we will end the meeting. Okay, looks like nobody has any questions. Somebody learned something, I hope. And good
Yes,
night.
ma'am. I just want to thank you for the session, and it was very enriching. And like last session also, like I had attended, and I just wanted to say, like it was great. And your motto that think, plan, and do.
Yes,
That has been
yes,
really helpful. And with that, like, we started the year with the Ram Raksha Pathan and
yes,
thinking ahead. Yeah, so
yes.
I really want to thank you, and it was a great session today as well.
Congratulations to all you women
Yeah,
for
thank you
doing
very
this.
much, Vajanti. It was very useful.
Yeah.
Specifically, like I'm running right now 51, 52, and the menopause is just over. So it is really, really helpful to understand. And so much information you gave. I think it will take some time for me to learn and
Important
actually.
digest,
Yes.
exactly, exactly.
So I think it is more useful than you gave so much knowledge to us that it will take some time to adapt it and align to it in terms of
I just talked about Ayurvedic definition of health. I didn't
correct.
talk much about it, but how elaborate that definition is. And every one sutra in Ayurveda, you can write the whole book. It is
Correct.
so much wisdom filled in all these kind of things.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Biju. Really
Thank
help,
you.
Really enjoyed it.
really helpful.
Apteji, I have a question.
Sure.
How do we know which out of kapha, pitta, vata, which one is in out of balance in my body? How do we know that?
Okay, that is main if you have any symptoms. Also remember that this Vata Pitta Kapha is in everybody's body, but in different proportion. And that we call our Prakriti. So in Ayurveda, we always try to find a Prakriti, and generally, person goes out of balance in their own Prakriti. If you're Kapha predominant, then you suffer more from cold congestion, those kind of
I see.
things. If you're predominant in Pitta, then you suffer more from heartburn or tension in the body or heat related problems, skin issues, and all that.
I
If
see.
you're predominantly Vata, everybody is three, but proportion is different. If the Vata dosha is predominant in you, you're slim, slender, very talkative, but you always have a kind of tendency to constipate, your skin is very dry, you are
I see.
very intuitive, imaginative. So there are good qualities and there are some things you need to pay attention to when you are predominant in certain dosha.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But this is a big tool we have of this dosha. We go back to any dosha which is aggravating and causing the problem. And then just medicine is not enough, but diet and lifestyle, because wrong eating has there is a cause of the disease. So unless you change the diet, lot of people ask the question in Ayurveda. You talk about so much patya, don't eat this, don't eat that. But because if those foods are causing you the problem, then unless you avoid, you won't get better. Till there is a cause, effect will always be there. By taking the medicine, you may put the band-aid on it, but it doesn't completely heal unless you take care of the cause of the problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Naina, do you have a question?
थँक यू मॅडम बहुत कॅन आय टॉक मराठी
Yeah, either is fine.
या खूप चांगलं सेशन झालं मॅडम खूप बरं वाटलं मी
हम्म.
आम्ही इकडे तुमचं क्लिनिक कुठे आहे ते मला ऍड्रेस किंवा
हा,
आम्हाला तुम्हाला भेटायचं असेल तर
माझं
कसं
कॉपेल मध्ये आहे. मी ऑलवेज आय फॉरगेट टू शो माय स्लाइड, बट माय ऑफिस इज इन कॉपेल. You
हा
can email me at info@dfwveda.com.
आयुर्वेदा ना DFW आयुर्वेदिक डॉक्टर
DFWveda.com.
DFW वेदा अच्छा अच्छा
info@dfwveda.com.
एक मिनिट हा. मग तिथे
You can
तुम्ही
also log
अपॉइंटमेंट
into
तर
an
म्हणजे
internet
मी
search
तुम्हाला सगळा
of
ऍड्रेस देते माझा.
you will automatically get it,
हा
visit that
चालेल
address.
ठीक आहे मग तुम्ही ग्रुपमध्ये टाकू शकता ऍड्रेस हा
ग्रुपमध्ये घालेन मी ऍड्रेस. शुअर.
हा हा चालेल छान झालं सेशन मस्त वाटलं
थँक्यू थँक्यू.
थँक्यू आज मी पहिल्यांदा जॉईन झाली त्याच्यामुळे थोडंसं मी पहिला बघत होती
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, ladies, if you don't have any question, then we'll end the session. And thank you very much for joining. Namaste.
Thank you, Vaiju.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you, Vaiju.